So one of the questions I get asked a lot about is, what does outsourced admin support actually look like in practice? What's the reality of handing over a part of your business? Most people are busy and they know that it's admin that's usually taking up way too much of their time, but they're not always sure what that means on a day-to-day basis. And if you were to outsource that, what that realistically looks like. So hopefully in this video, I want to talk you through what that does look like in real life and what the practical reality is. So to start with, for most business owners, this is not really about the admin itself. It's actually about control, trust, and value. There's often a worry about whether the work will be done correctly, whether the person they've outsourced to will understand the business properly, and whether what they're outsourcing is actually going to make a difference to them as the business owner. And those concerns are completely normal, and we hear them all the time. There's usually one, two, or even all of those concerns that are underlying a conversation. But if we think about it more about what admin is in practice, it's usually lots of little tasks that accumulate to this sort of big overwhelming lump that is admin. You've got managing inboxes, you're formatting documents, coordinating meetings, you might be chasing invoices and quotes, generally keeping the back office running smoothly with lots of little small tasks that feel in isolation like insignificant things, but they add up, and they add up to a huge amount of time. And that's when the mental overload starts to kick in over the course of the week. They've all sort of bulked together. So a useful way to think about this is removing that big task. Instead of it being, let me hand over admin, let's look at those small tasks and maybe just pick one. It doesn't usually work well if you just bulk offload in one go, especially if there's no structure to it. You're just dumping tasks on someone and hoping for the best. It's not going to be particularly productive going forward. So think about what your priorities are. Think about how you're going to communicate and what works best for you in terms of communication. And make sure you share how the business operates and where your priorities and your objectives lie as a business. That's a really good start for building a relationship. And then think about that one task. What's the first thing that you can hand over? In most cases, outsourced admin often starts small and then it builds. And as it builds, your relationship builds and that trust builds. It's easier for you to think, actually, it'd be really useful to then hand this over, and it'd be useful if we can then build the support around this. So if you think about it as a growing service, allow the first couple of tasks to settle, get into a routine, get into your comms routine, and build from there. It will make much more of a difference to you as a business outsourcing in that way. It's not about losing control over your business. You make the strategic decisions, you're taking the business forward. Only you can do that. This is about freeing up headspace in order for you to be able to do that more effectively. So as the business moves forward and your business grows, that relationship will grow too, and there will be things that you hand over that perhaps weren't there in the start. But what you will find is, as you offload task by task, everything will feel a lot lighter. So if you have wondered about outsourcing admin, I hope that's made things a little bit clearer, a little less daunting perhaps, and given you a bit of an understanding as to what that looks like and how that will move you forward.